Welcome back. I'm joined live now with Ms. Courtney Thomas with Eagle Vision Empowerment. Thank you for joining us.
It's great to be back again.
Okay, we're talking, we last saw her when we were talking about making New Year's resolutions. It's been about 2 months now. A lot of people have already fallen off.
Yes.
Some of the top ones, of course, are weight loss, quitting smoking, getting more money in the bank, and getting organized. Very common, but we have some statistics.
That's very interesting, aren't they? We are going to find out that about 45% of people in the United States make regular resolutions. But by now, only about 45% of that is actually making it. And in the end, 8%. Only 8% of us actually make it all the way through with our resolutions. So that's quite a small number.
Right. Now we're going to throw up a graphic to show you about people who do resolutions, how they fare out. So here we go. 8% of people who make resolutions are successful in reaching all of their resolutions. 49% are unsuccessful, and 43% have a mixed bag full of some success, some failure, some attempted, and some were not even attempted at all. So really, what's the secret when it comes to being successful at reaching your resolutions?
Being specific. Really, in order for us to modify any behavior or make a change, there has to be a reason that matters to us. And to be specific, you've got to know if you're going to make the resolution, how are you going to accomplish that goal? That way you have to be specific. Make your goals specific, make them measurable, make them achievable. Have ways to find out benchmarks. In other words, at what time are you going to be where? And the most important part, you've got to have someone that can help hold you accountable for that.
So my question for you is, a lot of people with only 2 months into the year fall off of their goals. Do you think sometimes people just set really lofty goals in general, and they say, I want to, pay off the mortgage on the house and all my credit cards and all my student loans, and it's just too much to take on in the first place?
That's what we mean when we say make them achievable. Make it something that you actually can accomplish. To say, I'm going to lose 50 pounds by February, it's not going to happen. But if I say I'm going to lose 10 pounds, maybe by the end of February or the beginning of March, that's achievable. 2.5 pounds a month, we can do that if we have specific steps, we have them outlined, we know what we're going to do, we know when we're going to do it, and how we're going to do it. That's achievable.
Okay, now everyone at home who's watching, I want you to get out your paper and pencil, because right after the break, we are going to have specific, achievable, measurable tips for you. So during this commercial break, make sure to get your pen, your pencil, your iPad out, because we're going to tell you how to get back on track and reach those resolutions with specific pointers. So stay tuned. Welcome back. We are talking with Ms. Courtney Thomas from Eagle Vision Empowerment about how we can get back on track if we've already kind of gotten off the bandwagon for our New Year's resolutions. Now, one of the biggest things is how many resolutions do people set? When you set 10, 20, 30, it's getting a little out of control, right?
Think about how hard it is to make change. We don't like a lot of change. And if you are going to make really good goals and be specific at them, find 1 or 2, no more than 3 goals that really have a meaning to you. Something that there is a meaning behind accomplishing. Getting into that little red bathing suit or that little red dress, it doesn't pay off, because once you get in it, the event's open, guess what? You're back to your old eating habits, and you're right back to that, making the scale kind of whine a little bit when you step on it. So make them small, make them meaningful. It's important that they mean something, because we all know if it doesn't mean something to you after a while, it's just the hype of making a New Year's goal, and slowly but surely it fades away. Now, we've fallen off a few of them. The first thing you have to do is understand it's okay.
It is. We've all fallen off.
We've
all
happens. Fallen
it's
off.
Normal.
It's not January the 1st, but you can still get back on track. Forgive yourself for that extra ice cream at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
For spending and buying that extra purse that was on sale at the clearance in January.
Or eating the whole sleeve of Girl Scout cookies.
Yes, they are so tempting. And of course, we can't say no to little Girl Scouts who are selling them, right?
I'm supporting the community, but get out your pen and pencils, because here's the time. So we're going to start with some steps for how people can really achieve their success. Number 1, what steps will you need to take? Number 2, how will you implement those steps? And number 3, when will you implement those steps? Tell me about each of those 3 and why they're important steps for success.
It's like having a recipe. First, in order to know, you say you want to cook a cake, you've got to understand, how am I going to cook that cake? What do I need to do? Same thing with your goals. Well, I want to lose weight. So what is it that I need to do? I need to learn about my eating habits. And then I need to define, my problem is that you know, when I go to Burger King, or whatever restaurant, I have the largest portion with all the cheese and all the things. I've got to change my habits. So how am I going to do that? Okay. I'm going to learn some skills. I'm going to talk to a dietitian or go and find out how should I make a menu. What should I do? Do I have to pass by and get up a little early in the morning and have a great meal, some Special K or something that I'm going to eat that's within my diet? Or am I going to pass by my favorite spot and pick up that quick biscuit or that quick donut or those things that feel so great, especially on a cold morning? We've got to take time and identify everything that you need to do, and they need to be spelled out. The best thing to do is write every step out. That's very important.
The timeline, as well as what you want to do, as well as specific steps. And speaking of that, accountability is kind of the other hand that goes hand in hand with those steps. Once you make them, here are the steps for accountability. Identify your benchmarks, review the progress on a weekly basis, and then have a friend or your spouse review monthly progress. Why is accountability so important when it comes to really accomplishing your life changes / New Year's resolutions?
Because it holds your feet to the fire. It makes sure that you're staying on progress. One of the key rules to doing this is you've got to have someone that's going to be honest with you and tell you the things that you need to hear and that you don't really want to hear, because no one wants to hear I gained 5 pounds instead of losing 5 pounds. But one thing, don't get upset because we are holding them to being good friends and good spouses and telling us the truth about what we're doing. And understand this, we all have a hard time changing. So when you fail or you make a mistake, go back, sit down with that person, talk about what is it that you did, identify why you failed. What is it that you didn't do or what happened to get you off track? Come up with ways to rectify that, and let's get started again. The only thing that you can't do is give up.
Okay, so there you have it, some concrete steps and ways to get back on track. We know it's not January 1st, it is March 6th, but that's a perfect date.
Definitely.
So, you know, just wake up tomorrow and get back to it. You have measurable steps. Now, if anyone wants to contact you, do you have a website or an email that they can get in contact with you to utilize some of your services?
My website is eaglevisiones.com, and you can contact me at Courtenay@eaglevisiones.com, or you can give me a call at 229-407-2785.
All right. Well, thank you so much for being here.
It's been a pleasure.
We enjoy it, and we hope all of you are now motivated to stay on track or get back on track when it comes to your New Year's resolutions. And now I'm going to throw it over to Mike for a little bit of